Too bad, my bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay. I cop a car, I run it back. Yeah. Go on your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back.
The Vikings are now on the clock.
Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no L's. Thank the Lord for my people in my health.
The Seahawks are now on the clock.
My man tripping cause I got another sale. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. 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 I'ma get it by myself. Yeah. Feel like Ginger from Casino. Aces up my sleeve though. Right before I leave, I said like I'm Dino. Think I'm part Italian. Blame that on Gino. Smells like the medallion. The skin on cappuccino. I don't kiss and tell. Keep your distance from myself. At a genie with the snails in a 5-star hotel. And I wish he's well when they wish for me to fail. I might donate petty bills. They can't get it by themselves.
That's why you treat my friend good, but not too good. I give them too much, then they don't need me. I give them just enough.
I just ran to check up on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no L's. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. And fine as hell from my head down to my nails.
The Jaguars are now on the clock.
I got another sale. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. 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 I'ma get it by myself. Yeah. I'ma get it either way. I don't even gotta say what I
The Raiders are now on the clock.
Put it on my plate. I could get it right away. Take you through my day to day. Wake and pray. Make that play. Get some good at my place. There's some on the way. Cause my bro's on the way. I got stones on my gold. I got loads in my safe. Had a 7-figure summer, so I'm putting on some weight. Set up getting thick, so I put it on display.
With this round, I make a joke. Everybody laughs. I know I'm funny, but I'm not that funny.
Yeah, I just ran to check up on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no L's. Thank the Lord for my people in my health.
The Titans are now on the clock.
My man tripping cause I got another sale. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself.
The Titans are now on the clock.
Get it by myself, yeah.
The Vikings are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock.
Treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Paper stuff the edge like I don't know no bill. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, right before the deal. Say this one for your photo real.
The Cardinals are now on the clock.
You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show
on skills. Yeah, so suspenseful. I'm up in the field. Saw it in my eyes, it was the Tiger Hill. Gon' jump off the line and
The Broncos are now on the clock.
rewrite your history off this line right here. Your best bet be ahead. Easy to get rich or dead trying. This ain't never new, I just be 10 steps instead. Snooze I won't, I can't lose, really rest or a bed. Do what you can to do, make your next move your best.
The Bills are now on the
I
clock.
do this for the family, I might just flow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they souls the chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Paper stuff the edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way before the deal. Say this one for your photo reel. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I keep it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they souls the chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Let's go. Get first off the edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way before the deal.
I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. 5 days straight, no rest, oh well. I don't need no scale. I've been on my, I don't need no help. Always getting money, rain, snow, sleet, hell. Keep it on me 'cause my name ring bells. People see me and can't help themselves. See me and themselves. I wouldn't wanna be anybody else. I never used to think I'd be
The Ravens are now on the clock.
They keep on trying to find a ways to push my buttons. I came out of the jungle where it rained and it thundered, but I bring the heat like the summer. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go. I
The
wonder when
Steelers
it's
are
my
now on the
time.
clock.
I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go. I wonder when it's my time.
The Browns are now on the clock.
Like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. 5 days straight, no rest, oh well. I don't need no scale. I've been on my, I don't need no help. Always getting money, rain, snow, sleet, hell. Every day I work my thumb. I don't get to take off. A hater get off. I'm ready like lift off. I never been nowhere, but I'm ready to stay gone. Nothing ever lasts long. I'm always beating the odds. Taking all these trips, I had to go and get a passport. I'm just trying to live. I don't know what these mad for. I just signed a deal and got a really big bag for it. Still at your mama crib ain't getting money, you gotta ask for it. Tired of complaining, I gotta bitch change my situation. Looking at the view outside, I thought I would never make it. Every day take, but that don't stop the money making. If you want it, go and take it. Ain't no point in hesitating. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll
The
die
Dolphins
by the
are now on the
nighttime.
clock.
It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind.
The Patriots are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock. The Titans are now on the clock.
Yeah. One up and up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son
The Bills are now on the clock.
happen. Now my dreams reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing. Now I hit the scene, they like lights, camera, action. Living in a dream, now my music, they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, try to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Felt like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah, oh my, we ride for my brothers, no lie. All you can die, never wrong, they right. I ain't changing my side, yeah, we in it for life. And I've been magic with the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic.
The Seahawks are now on the clock.
Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have? Look in the mirror now, I'm feeling
The Packers
like
are now on the clock.
Tell my son I love him for him, I'ma make it happen. Now my dreams reality, not going back to.
The Buccaneers are now on the clock.
Me, I turn my back, you laugh. Hey, how could you lie to my face? People claim that they be loyal, they be taking up space. See my broski lose his heart when he was fighting that case. Took so many yells, I'm not going back to those days. I'ma treat you how you treat me. Do you
The
like
Broncos are now on the clock.
Can't treat you like my ace. I got way too many problems to be worried. I'm straight. Me and Craig had to watch for the Jakes. On the road, this crazy. I get 80 a show. Say my money, stack it up, and look like I'm foreign cars driving fast. I never done this before. Get drown out my problems. Let me. When I'm in magic with the gang, we ball out. It can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have? Look in the mirror now, I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him for him, I'ma make it happen. Now my dreams reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing.
S-T-R-O. How many of y'all came to win?
The Bengals are now on the clock.
S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play with you. Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up. I can't
The Bears are now on the clock.
I'm my business.
The Dolphins are now on the clock.
I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I made with
The Raiders are now on the clock.
When I drop, look at shorty, she support ride, lifting up. Never not on my grind. New York City time. Another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't putting live from the winning side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe.
The Cowboys are now on the clock.
You never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field, hit the wind. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good. We don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I done grabbed a few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, it's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop. It's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
The Bills are now on the clock.
Man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good. We don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What
The 49ers are now on the clock.
What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street.
The Falcons are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock.
I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I just got bags from Prada, rolling up. I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we back up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Down from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a
The Seahawks are now on the clock.
I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again.
The Jaguars are now on the clock.
I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot.
The 49ers are now on the clock.
I'm closing the top when the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mid dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did
The Browns are now on the clock.
I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock.
Gourmet, I go Super Saiyan, go tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. don't wear ball mains. All I ever do is ball main. I am not a rapper, they all lame. I am not dope, I'm hard. Wait.
The Lions are now on the clock.
Spitting like a semi, only give me semicolon. Couple zeros like I'm sending yell nets. Every flow is unmatched, and I better get set in. Finish them. Mess around with me and I diminish them all. Even if I ever did the minimum all. In the end result, I better kill them all. Rogue one, but I got a team with me. Batman when I got a team with me. I get mean, I get green. Show the whole game what's never been seen. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, go tank.
The Dolphins are now on the clock.
Got more bars than a Shawshank. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, go tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars than a Shawshank.
Designer sneakers hurt my feet now. Every beat is getting beat down. Couldn't eat, well watch I eat now. Like how you getting paid to freestyle? Different cities every week now.
The Broncos are now on the clock.
Now with state prop be looking bleak now. I was home to sleep designer sheets now.
The Raiders are now on the clock.
They listen, couldn't find the social fishing. Who the crew, it wasn't you. I know it's true cause you look like the opposition. Run it up, greatest ever sums it up. I ain't have a lot when I was coming up. Kinda
the Titans are now on the clock.
Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, go tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars than a Shawshank. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, go tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars than a Shawshank.
Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm
P-P-P-Love, time to bring the bass bird.
Swear I'm going big like a lineman. She want bring the limes in. She wanna pull up to the crib, we can't dine in. Up right away, couldn't even get a vine in. Straight with the money.
The Bills are now on the clock.
Tell me how they broke, tryna chime in. Jesus watching over here in diamonds. He the only reason why I do not get violent. Ay, cause he gave me patience. Ay, swear that don't make sense. Ay, when you making bands can make friends. Cause I know they tryna shit
The
like
49ers are now on the clock. The Rams are now on the clock.
I know we the ones that ain't them. Put both hands together and I'm saying amen. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going bigger. Postmates how I deliver. My game too cold, made it shiver, but I'm still a hot boy. Cool it down, let it simmer. Hey, see him mad, got him bitter. Can't stop the shine with a dimmer. Only what I give her, and she let her call me baby, but I do not need a sitter. See me dip, yeah, I'm saucing. People at the bank see me often. Let the money run, it's a faucet. She gave me the that's a boss.
The Buccaneers are now on the clock.
I was down in the chips, they went all in. Throwing up the game, ain't no vomit. Make my mama stop working, that's the promise.
The Patriots are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock.
Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm
The Bears are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel, get a bird's eye view.
The Raiders are now on the clock.
Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby, I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off, each store got locks, I got some trusted shoes. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked, it's nothing new. Death comes in threes, wins come in twos, cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. I do a good job, pull up and pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on, pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one, they wanna keep me, oh that's a good one. Pockets are dense, I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my
The Cowboys are now on the clock.
Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m. Check out. Might give her one foul just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess.
The Bills are now on the clock.
Serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Half the Emirates need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a match. And plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it.
The 49ers are now on the clock.
I make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. And I don't need you to okay it. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody
The 49ers are now on the clock.
Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown.
They can't take it to 10.
The Vikings are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock.
16 sitting in the leg. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in them. Ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna blame me. No conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs, stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die.
The Raiders are now on the clock.
Never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die.
Yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? In the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah.
The Browns are now on the clock.
Yeah, all day like, yeah.
The Bears are now on the clock.
Yeah.
You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, you don't want problems. Yeah.
The Colts are now on the clock.
Dangerous. Ain't too many can play with us. See what this game here taking us. No barber, ain't no fading us. I ain't really saying much. Actions be louder than words, man. I just wanna be heard from your mom to your pop to the beat to the birds, man. Cut right off on the curb like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my whole team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like yeah. In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like what? In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like what? Whole squad like yeah. In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like yeah. In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah.
The Chargers are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock.
Frustration, I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't panic surround me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like black, yeah. In the field like yeah, all day like yeah.
The Redskins are now on the clock.
In the field like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like what? Whole squad like yeah, in the field like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like yeah, in the field like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, no.
The Packers are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog.
The Redskins are now on the clock.
This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to know where Mace, Potts, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot. You'll see where all the sun rays.
The Cowboys are now on the clock.
Being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rock.
The Dolphins are now on the clock.
Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
The Bears are now on the clock.
Turn it up, we giving the show.
The Raiders are now on the clock.
What you talk about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets? That's a close encounter of what kind? Gentlemen. When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, pass to your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years, so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert
The Dolphins are now on the clock.
Are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, y'all, keep it flow. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind?
The Titans are now on the clock.
Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Turn it up, y'all, keep it flow. Are you ready? Set? Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, we giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind?
The 49ers are now on the clock.
But can
The
you
Rams
rock
are
it
now
like
on the clock.
rocket fuel?
The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock.
I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play
The
off.
Bears are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock.
Back like Saquon. And I gotta win no matter what, like fourth down, Hail Mary, no punch. Like every time I touch down, I gotta stunt. Randy Moss, yeah, my numbers going up. All these trophies, what do I need any more for? Check the stats up, you can check the scoreboard. Check the stats, Jay Critch, I'm the QB. Ran it up and then I went and got a new freeze. How it feel to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. How it feel to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings.
The Redskins are now on the clock.
Go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. If you ain't a winner, then don't come round. On my way to another city, it's a touchdown. Underlay, yeah, I gotta get it in a rush now. Let them hate, try to knock me down, but we
The
got
Cowboys are now on the clock.
Say that you ballin', keep it real though. Hey, why I never saw you in the field?
The Bills are now on the clock.
Easy as a field goal. I've been grinding for a minute and I'm still going. How it feel to be the boss? Let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. How it feel to be the boss? Let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon.
The Chiefs are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock.
Playing skills, you did.
Playing
Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, all on the wrist.
The Bears are now on the clock.
Watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, all on the wrist. I never switch. Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, all on the wrist. Watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, all on the wrist. I never switch. Ice on the wrist. I get the money, but I never switch. They saying you switch, you won't get it. You know they can't.
The Jaguars are now on the clock.
I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause I told them wrist. I bet you wanna be famous, They Ella, they made us,
The Patriots are now on the clock.
The haters, I'm make a lot of new money.
The Patriots are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock.
All on my wrist, AOB, just all off of getting money since I was legit. Ever since I blew, they all on my. Hey, back then, didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got your long. I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent about 10 on my fit. Ex slick, then hit with the. Back then, used to out the zip. Blow out his back, then dip. Got a whole party all on the ship. All these four things, pull out the VIP. Suck, turn up, baby, pour out the milk. So you know how I drip.
The Chargers are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock.
I'm in the whip, all in the rest, I never switch.
The Broncos are now on the clock.
Big numbers, 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a
The
big
Packers
number.
are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock.
Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad be pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more pesto. Hit your throw and I'ma catch those. Mexican, dummy pesos. Hit your sauce, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
The Broncos are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock.
Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Hey, man can't ball like this, man, Lord.
The Cardinals are now on the clock.
I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Hey, hundreds and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Hey, she want it like me, cause her like she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit up my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
The Raiders are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock.
16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers,
The Titans are now on the clock.
big numbers, blue hunts, whole team counting, that's a big number.
The Panthers are now on the clock.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man. Oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruined they plans.
The 49ers are now on the clock.
Got it on smash. Put on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. Yeah. They can't catch up because they lacking the stamina.
The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock.
Just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you
The
do.
Bengals are now on the clock.
Unanimous hit dials, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerge victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, is glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh there with the hands.
The Texans are now on the clock.
I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash.
The Saints are now on the clock.
I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best because I am. It's noted in keeping it low-key. I can carve for the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets. The coach regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just trying not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash. Put on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash.
The Giants are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock.
It's lonely on top of the throne. I ain't a king of the pawn. Hop on a jet across the globe. I guess the road is my home and there's so many milk. Bird in my dome and like turbulent air. I'm switching these flows. If you look at my neck, boy, I'm letting it slow. I'm sturdy as hell, as a vessel alone. They showing me love in my city. Gangs ain't hippies. Women like Nick, you know what I'm about. I'm not. The stereotypes, they do not fit me. I'm bigger than life. Gave everyone jobs. I'm not a guard. Go hawk with a squad. I'm playing my part, but I'm LeBron. Rings of the team.
The Panthers are now on the clock.
Calling from a cell. A couple of homies be making it. I just want all of them dudes to the well. Don't worry about taking a couple of L's. Don't sin for me, just win for me. Don't kill for me, just live for me. Keep it real for me. We eat together.
The Bears are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock.
I give it all I got.
The Vikings are now on the clock.
Take it higher, that's a God. Man, on my heart, no, I give it all I got. Wanna walk, talk the talk. Take it higher, that's a God. Never stopping, that's a must. Always winning, never lost. GPS, I never lost. GPS, I never lost. Who do it better than me? Yeah. Vision on 2020, yeah. VVS, Clarity, yeah. Determination, laser focus. Banging on they taking notice.
The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock.
Laser focus. Banging on they taking notice.
The Bears are now on the clock.
It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to
The Browns are now on the clock.
It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish, nah. The story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from
Lions are now on the clock.
I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up they octaves, now they truly focusing.
The Colts are now on the clock.
I'm seeing 2020 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on the mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top, it's missing, the opposition in. All that lane switching, this is what the game is.
The Chargers are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock.
I just had to let you know, it's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.
The Broncos are now on the clock. The Packers are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock.
I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game.
The Broncos are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock.
This is not a bye week. I'm looking for a trophy competition, looking steep. Yeah, I'm training, I've been focused, I've been bombing from the deep. I'm like, move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Move the needle for the city like the championships. All my records go hard, this a champion hit. I've been working for this moment like I've been in the gym. Jumping all over hurdles, I'm evading the pit. Head to head with anybody, take them, I can shake them. I invite them to the fire.
The Raiders are now on the clock.
My jersey, made to put in work. I don't think they really heard me like, move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Ain't no stopping me, ain't no topping me. I am up, number one seed, ain't nobody popping up. Got a squad of gorillas from the jungle suited up.
The Titans are now on the clock.
Booted up, popping out a sprinter or a truck. Whole team chasing bags while they chasing us. Calling audible, I read the game, I think it's time to switch. You get hit, if I miss, then my teammates got the blitz, yeah. Move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains.
Rick Rock. Tick-tock. West hip-hop. Are you ready for some football?
The Panthers are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock.
Down in Mississippi and New Orleans, Big Snoop Dogg got a Madden league. His team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get
The Buccaneers are now on the clock.
But you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg, and I'm the only one. And when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Haha, bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast. Cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you when I'm in a mud league.
The Patriots are now on the clock.
Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team
The Bengals are now on the clock.
Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is again.
The Texans are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock.
Cleats on my feet, jersey on my back, helmet on my head, ready to attack like that. Down in Mississippi and New Orleans, Big Snoop Dogg got a Madden league. Your team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy, and tell the whole damn world it's Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy.
The Giants are now on the clock.
Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg, and I'm the only one. And when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Bag up off me and watch you lose.
The Dolphins are now on the clock.
I'm giving Madden blues, and if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast, cause I can get you with the run. Or
The Packers are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock.
Can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard. My team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is. Now get it. Big Snoop Dogg. It's in the game.
The Jaguars are now on the clock.
Why you do that like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards.
The Jaguars are now on the clock.
Run it back. Go your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello? That's the Jag calling. Let me click over real quick to let my Jag talk it. I eat it. Ooh, Pac-Man. That's the way my neck talking. Right?
The Bears are now on the clock.
You don't make no clap back when you backpack my bad, but I'm past that with a NASDAQ. That's cash when the money fall, I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go, you don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma grab brown man. When it come back, I'ma give back my bad. When the check hit, the direct hit, I'm glad. When the check missed the direct hit, I'm sad. Like, who's that knocking at my window? They say that it's the money, I'm like tenfold.
The Browns are now on the clock.
Like a limbo. She said she not a, she in. Why you do that like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards.
The Lions are now on the clock.
Run it back. Go your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back.
Yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no L's. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another sale. He still buy me YSL. I could get
The
it by
Colts
myself.
are now on the clock.
I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself. Yeah. Feel like Ginger from Casino. Aces up my sleeve though. Right before I leave, I said like I'm Dino. Think I'm part Italian. Blame it on Gino. Snowflake the medallion. The skin on cappuccino. I don't kiss and tell. Keep your distance from myself. At a genie with the snails in a 5-star hotel. And I wish he's well.
The Chargers are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock.
Yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no L's. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another sale. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself.
The Cardinals are now on the clock.
I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself. Yeah. I'ma get it either way. I don't even gotta say what I want when I want. They just put it on my plate. I could get it right away. Take you through my day to day. Wake and pray, make that play. Get some good at my place. There's some on the way, cause my bros on the way. I got stones on my gold. I got loads in my safe. Had a 7-figure summer, so I'm putting on some weight. Set up getting thick, so I put it on display.
With this rhyme, I make a joke, everybody laughs. I know I'm funny, but I'm not that funny.
Yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no L's.
The Redskins are now on the clock.
Fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another sale. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself.
The Packers are now on the clock.
I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself, yeah.
The Packers are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The Titans are now on the clock. The Panthers are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock.